Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another fantastic video. This is what we are doing. It's gonna be a lot of fun, hopefully. So we are here in the starting grounds of the last city. This is the last city, and we're gonna leave the roads, because without the roads, then nobody gets in. And just because it's the last city doesn't mean people aren't coming. We're trying to save as many people as we can, and that's the key. As we go along, we'll start to realize that maybe we aren't the last city. Maybe it's all wrong. But that will come at a later point. As of right now, we are working on the basis for the city. So, which way is which? Okay, so this way goes this way, and this way comes in this way. And then what will happen? This side right here is going to be for our industry. And oh no, that is straight. Okay. Just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing right over here. So what this does is this allows us to have our homes and our industry on separate sides, but yet still fairly close enough that there shouldn't be too much of an issue, hopefully. Whoop. But also this allows us to have a good starting point, is my goal here. So obviously we have everything that we need, and then we're going to have a coal power plant right there, and that's going to go across the street and into the housing district so that, well, we can have houses. Because it's not very good if we don't have houses. Right here with this one. And then we'll hit that with a water pipe. And then the last thing that needs to be done, we'll hit that one with that, and then just like that, both of those are powered, and we're good. So now I can paint in the areas, and we can start making some cash, hopefully. It's kind of the hope here, is that we're actually going to make money and not sit here and hemorrhage it and lose everything. So what we're also gonna do, okay, good, I can set the budget. So we're gonna bring this down to 60. That's where I usually have this set, and that's gonna be a huge advantage. This means that we're not gonna hemorrhage as much money, and that's insane. It's so helpful, especially since right now we don't have anybody in town. We have nobody. There's nobody around. There's nobody making money for us. It's all just starting to pop up. There you go. See? It's all the beginnings. And we have a coal power plant. And eventually you're going to start seeing some industry build up here. and a little bit of commercial. And as each thing builds up, we're going to be golden. And once we get to 1,000, I'll be able to come over here and turn this area, now watch, this is genius, into forestation. And what I'm going to do is, as we get more money, I'm going to extend a road out that way. And that's where the forest is going to go. So, that's kind of the goal right now. As you can see, they're just, they're doing their thing and they're building. They're doing what they need to do. And I'm certainly not against any of it. So, as long as we keep going in the right direction, I'm good with whatever it is that they want to do. So, we've got some commercial stuff popping up. And actually, we're going to do away with these two right here. And that's simply because of, well, it wouldn't make much sense. They're not going to get water or power. Well, they'll get power, but they're not going to get water there. And so, why do it? And we won't. But yet, here we are, continuing to work, and let's see. So we got to get to a population of 500 people. Now, we're kind of in a bad spot because of the way that I built this. I didn't do much thinking with it, and I built it the way I wanted to, and didn't end too well. So let's see here. We're still hemorrhaging just too much money. So what we need to do is we need to see if we can't take this down more and possibly make some money. Hopefully. Population needs to keep increasing. I love how it's raining. This is like perfect timing. Everything's raining. It's all messy and whatnot. And I love that we keep building factories. For each factory we build, that's more money. And they just need to keep doing it. And hopefully we'll start making money instead of losing money. Hopefully. Now, I can't guarantee anything. There we go. More people need to keep coming in. We got to get up to that 500 mark. I will not be accepting bankruptcy. Whatever happens, happens, and that's the way that it's going to go. I'm not going to really do much of anything other than to do what needs to be done to make sure that we can make some money. Which looks like we might be doing. I think we're actually making money currently. We are. This is brilliant. See, it's already working out in our favor. And yes, we do have this big pollution cloud that's kind of here. That's going to go away eventually. Now, my hope is that we don't run out of the ability to power everything before we get enough stuff built. That's my big concern. My big concern is that we run out of power before I can either turn into a profit and be in the black, so to speak, instead of being in the red like we currently are, or we run out of power before enough people move in. Because that's going to also be a huge key. See, if we can get enough power, or if we can get enough people moved in, then I can throw down a second power plant to generate power, and we'll be golden. So, I just want to make sure, and I'm actually going to take a look at this. Where is it? There's something here. Electricity. So, for each thing that we add, more electricity is consumed, and we keep producing the same amount. So this is where it's getting crunch time, and we got to produce the electricity. So, but can we say, I think we can bump electricity output up a little. Let's do that. Let's see what we get out of this. If we can bump that up, I think we might be in business. There we go. Beautiful. So like I said, now we'll add a second power plant just to kind of make sure that things will continue going our way. I'm gonna add it right here if I can get the money for it. Or not. I don't really want to add it into an area where I don't want to take business away if it hasn't been built yet. I'd rather just kind of stick it somewhere new. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. Because just taking business away is crappy. It only hurts us. It doesn't help us or anything, so why would we do it? Don't know. But either way, we're almost to the point that we need to be. There it is. We are golden. And boom. We have another power plant. Now, obviously, you're probably going, oh, big deal. Another power plant. Woo. But it is a big deal. Because that extra power plant means more power. And obviously, more power is a good thing. So, we're going to come up here. And we're actually going to bring this straight across, just like this. Let's see. Obviously not that far. We don't need to go that far with it. And actually, we're going to do it over here. So this is where we are going to build more industry. But specifically, most specifically, and actually what I'm going to really do with it, because why not? We're going to build it on a dirt road, which hopefully will allow us to spend a few bucks more, or well, save a few bucks is kind of what I'm getting at. More so than spend a few more. So there's that. And then we'll get it connected over to the main road. Which once we get it connected over here, we're in business and we can start continuing on with everything that we wanted to do. There we go. So now we can turn this all into yellow. And then the key here, which is obviously to add more water. So this is an issue that we're running into already. And of course, it's not an issue that we want to be really running into. And I certainly don't want to take out a loan. That is definitely not where I want to go with this. So hopefully this changes things and makes it so that we have enough money. I want to make sure that we have this completed before I start going off and trying, which I think is crazy that I'm even doing it in this particular fashion, because it's just insane. And you know what? I'm not one to usually do this. I hate taking out loans, but I want to get this job done, and I want it done right. So, we're going to take out a loan. And that allowed us to get that completed. Now, obviously, you're probably like, oh, big deal, whoop-de-doo. But it kind of is. So, it's just gonna kind of work for us. So we're gonna come over here, and this is going to allow me to turn this into the section of the city that I want it to be. Now, probably quite a few of you are probably going, well, what are we going to call this area? So, obviously this is the last city. It's the whole concept here, is that this is the last city on Earth, or at least we think it is. So, with that being said, many of the great cities from around the world are kind of pulling together to try to survive through this. And by doing that, they've come here. Now, one of the things you see that we're having an issue with currently is garbage. It's piling up, and we don't have any way of handling it. And quite frankly, we lost quite a few people, actually. And my assumption is probably from garbage. It's piling up. Nobody wants to be around it. I can understand that. So hopefully some of these new homes, this new, everything new that we have, hopefully we can get to where we need to so that I can, and actually what we're going to do, because I see struggling for water, which actually, that's just because of where they are. So I'm not that concerned with that. I'm more concerned with this right now. This is the big deal. We need to get garbage done, and obviously I don't want it to just kind of pile up or do anything like that. So there we go. Now we have a garbage facility, and it's here to come around and pick up the garbage and do everything it needs to do. But because of this, we now have to scale back some on it. Because again, well, I love having it, and it's fantastic to have around. I don't want it to be overpowering us and kill us in terms of how much we're utilizing. And this building's going to disappear. In fact, I'm actually going to dezone right there. So, there is no zoning there. It's just, it's not beneficial. It really isn't. So, we're going to go away from having that one there, and it works. So, I will say having garbage pickup is wonderful. People are now no longer really complaining. These guys are, but I'm sure once the garbage truck comes around and picks up their garbage, here it comes, they're going to not be mad anymore, and that's exactly it. As soon as the garbage truck came around, they're no longer mad about it. So, everything is going our way currently, and I like it. We have this pumping station and everything out here, and you can kind of see it's pumping out sewage. It looks nasty. Not good in any way, but we have to live with what we have to live with. And so, I was going to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to come out here, and actually that worked perfectly. We have another pumping station. So, why is that key? Well, the more pumping stations, the more water we're pumping in, the more water we're pumping, the less we have to worry about people, so, let's see. Okay, that should work. Got industry all the way out here. Wow. I feel like that's going to be an issue, bud. That's what I figured. And quite frankly, with the landfill, it's not a big deal. because the landfill doesn't run on electricity. But you do. And you're all the way out here, and there's no electricity. So guess what? You're kind of screwed because I'm not adding electricity for you, bud. It's just not happening. And therefore, we end up with what we end up with. And what I might end up doing is, because quite honestly, I don't want to end up in a situation. Oh, yay. So one of the things we just unlocked, and this is a big deal. So we just unlocked a new district. So what we have here, this district, or this entire area is a district. So I know you're probably thinking, oh my god, he's crazy, making an entire area a district. Well, we're only going to have 6 districts in the entirety of the city. And that's just going to be how it goes. Each district will have its own own industry. Each district will have its own everything that it has about it. And this one is lumber. This is going to be all about lumber, and that's important because of location. It's located right where it needs to be a lumber facility. There's wood all right here. Look at all these woods. It's perfect. So we just made it a farming industry. Now what does that mean? It means all of these buildings are going to disappear, and they're going to get replaced with these type of buildings. So you're going to actually see probably more buildings pop up on this road, and less be over here. But we also have 27,000. Now, one of the things that includes is we continue to make money. Good. That's the key. We want to keep making money. Also, I love that those things are connected for now. I think that should be fine, though. One thing that we want to add, because honestly, we want people to be happy, and people want one of these, so we'll go ahead and add one for them. There you guys go. You guys can have an elementary school, and then we'll get one right there. So we'll have 2 elementary schools, and that covers the entirety of the current residential district, which is perfect. Now, obviously, again, we're running into more of this. We got to come in here, and we got to set all of these, because we're about to increase each and every bit of this and make sure that we're decreasing this, but we're going to add these buildings and stuff like this. So we want to make sure that our income keeps outweighing our expenses, because once it starts to outweigh our expenses, then we're in trouble. Once we're paying more for stuff than we're making, that's when things get bad. That's when we roll into Trouble Town, and that's when things start to look bleak and dark, and it's just not going to end well. So one of the things everybody's concerned with currently is police. So preferably, I'd like the police in a location where they can get to everybody. And right now, to me, that means right here. It's a perfect location, and there's nothing there. So we get this police station done, and then we might look at something else. Is there sewage issues? Oh, there is. That's what they're complaining. I always get that mixed up. It's sewage. It's not. It looks like it could be a gun, and it never is. It's always an issue with sewage, and I can never remember that. So, with that being said, there we go. Now, Less of an issue with sewage. Isn't it great? No more sewage issues. Yay! At least that's the hope. And just to kind of counteract it. Ooh, policies. Yes. Okay. None of that. Because I don't like any of that. I don't like what that's going to cause. One of the issues that seems to be plaguing the city currently is a lack of power. And fires. And other things that... Oh, God. Okay. So first off, one thing we need to do... We gotta get the fire trucks out there. Then we need that. And finally... another power station. And just because I don't want to deal with this later on, another power station. So it does look like the fire trucks were able to get that settled and saved. It should be returning to normal here shortly, which is fantastic. I love that. So everything is looking good. Now, what we can do here is we're going to go under the inspection. We're going to flip this over. And we're going to rename this to Neo Tulsa. So this is going to be our first sector. And yes, quite honestly, it's going to kind of be the cities that I want it to be. So this is what we're starting with, is Neo Tulsa. And this is what we have so far. So as you can kind of see, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pay this loan back. So we're not, hopefully we're not hemorrhaging as much money because I only have to pay one loan now. We're actually going to take all of this down even more because currently we're dying on money. It's just not going well for us. So this is what I was afraid of, and this is what we're going to try to avoid. So either way, we will do what we have to do, and that does include hiking up the taxes. Now, usually about 12%, nobody complains, and it allows us to make some money and keep everything going in the right direction. Now, obviously, going in the right direction is huge, because if we're going in the right direction, that means we're not going in the wrong direction. Which, ha ha ha, of course, that makes sense, blah blah blah. However you want to put it. I don't care. Oh, that's the elementary school. That's right. Okay. Well, I guess we're not building anything there, but that's okay because I'll still get it filled in for us. After we make more money. That's gonna also be kind of a key. Which, we're gonna make more money by having more residents. So boom. More places of residence. Why do we need more places of residence? Well, if you look over here, it just makes sense. So, what we're going to do now is I'm going to have to add some trees. What I'd also like to do is get rid of all of this so that I don't have to look at it, but there we go. So hopefully by doing this, I'm adding a little bit of forestation over here, and this allows more of our industry to kind of work out over here. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, obviously, I could be mistaken on what I'm doing, and it has no effect. Nope, it has an effect. So see, the more trees I add, the better our industry is. The better our industry is, boom, there you go. Look at that. Boom, right in a kisser. So, it's all working for us now. Except for, well, nope, even our money's working for us. So, like I said, everything's going our way now. It's all in the bag. But what we have to end up doing is, once again, we have to make another elementary school, apparently. Because, well, they're just not getting enough. Which I think is insane. But either way, folks, we're going to call this one a show. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, we'll see you later.